attention and well-behaved so far. Mr. Rancilio took over the helm as president at DLS Collegiate during the 2021 school year, becoming the 5th president in the school's 96-year history. Mr. Rancilio grew up in Detroit and attended Our Lady Queen of Peace Grade School. Mr. Rancilio graduated from DLS in 1986. His class was the first to attend DLS for 4 years at its current home in Warren. Mr. Rancilio attended Columbia University in New York City. He's a very active president, and I'm happy to announce Mr. Larry Rancilio.
Thank you, everyone. First of all, I want to welcome everyone here to this great place. This is actually one of my favorite days of the year, where we get to honor our seniors and talk a little bit about philanthropy in one of the most iconic and beautiful places in the city of Detroit, a place that I call my second home. I've been a member here for 22 years, and I'm glad that all you gentlemen can experience it, and hopefully one day you'll be a member here too. But what we're here today is to talk a little bit about giving back. But before I do that, just a few thank yous. The first thank you that we really need to give is to Coach Esler. Greg, you want to stand up, please? All right, you can keep standing, Greg. He likes this. He likes the attention, but he deserves it. Yeah, right. Greg and Renee, this was their brainchild, several years ago, and it's turned into really a great event, not only for you guys as a senior class, but for the faculty, for the leadership team, but also for alums coming back to really to talk about giving back. So Greg, I want to thank you and your team for all the work that you've done also too, and Renee too also. Thank you very much for this. I want to introduce someone that has become a friend of mine and has invited me to several of these functions for the Detroit Public Schools. He is the director. He's a former Catholic school guy, just like you. He is now the athletic director for the Detroit Public Schools and is doing an outstanding job, and is another guy that gives back to the community and loves us as a school, but also is doing a great job. So Jay Alexander, please, Jay, if you would stand up. So thanks for being here, Jay. I appreciate it. Thank you. Greg introduced my leadership team, but I want to thank them also for all the work that they do every day to make sure you guys are doing what you're doing, the school's running well. The Christian Brothers, Greg talked about them, and I certainly wouldn't be here without them, but this school and we wouldn't be here without the Christian Brothers. So, brothers, thank you for being here and all you do, and please give them a round of applause because they deserve it. I want to commend Jerry Zaccardelli for a lot of things, but one thing I want to commend him for is for making sure he brings his mom and his wife to these things too, because I've learned that from Jerry being a mentor, and I want to welcome Sue and Ellen again for being here too. So thank you for sharing this with us too. Thank you. The last thank you before I introduce the alums that are here is to the DAC staff, and you see them walking around, but they do an outstanding job, especially feeding you guys. It's crazy. That was the hardest I think I've seen them work in a long time, but they are a tremendous staff. They treat the members as family. We treat them as family. So guys, before you leave today, please, if you do see a staff member, make sure you thank them, and please give them a round of applause too, if you would. Thanks. One of the best things that I do, or one of the things that I really love about this day, is to introduce all the alums that are here. Today's we talk about giving back and relationships and We have alums from 2012 all the way through 1950 here today, and they all are back here because of you guys. They're all back here because of what De La Salle has meant to them. Some of them are here because of Jerry. I don't know why that is, but anyway, okay, Jerry. Or for a free meal, as Jerry told me to. But please, guys, look around. When I introduce them, you can hold the applause till the end, but make sure you get a chance to talk to every one of them, introduce yourself to them, because these guys, we are happy to have them here. The first guy I want to introduce is actually my godson, and you talk about relationships that you make when you're here at De La Salle. My best friend growing up was also in my wedding. He is the godfather of my oldest son. I am the godfather of his oldest son, but David Van Ersum, class of 2012. Dave, stand up. Ariel Pasternak, 2012, who swam with my son, Nick. Stay standing, guys. You guys stay standing. One of our teachers, Ian Ciccini, 2010. Zach Issa, 2009. Mike Short, 2004. Andrew Grouser, 2004. Kevin Fitzhenry, 2003. One of my bosses, Pat Cahill, 2000, board member. Anthony Ciotti, 2009. Was that, no, 1999, sorry, that would make you younger. Matt Patanti, 1996. Joe Thomas, 1995. Matt Loria, 1995. Dennis Cook, 1994. Ed Olenichek, 1991. Chris Fett, 1990. Did I introduce you, Matt? Did I introduce Matt Laura? Did I introduce Matt? Okay, good. I'm sorry. I thought okay. Jim Boutros, our attorneys kept me out of trouble a lot too. I think, but 1988. Joe Girardi, classmate of mine, 1986. Brother Ken Kalinowski, 1984. Mr. Dave Kirk, 1983. Dave Mordell, 1982. Mr. Jack Bruzewitz, 1977. Mr. Jerry Zaccardelli, 1975. Mark Rush, 1975. Joe Nagel, 1975. Dr. John Moore, 1975. Dan Lepp, 1975. Anthony Jabinski, 1975. Tom Ferenik, 1975. Dr. Fred Bartolome, 1975. A lot of 1975 guys. Thank you for being here, guys. Mr. John Monagold, our former director of Alumni, 1966. Brother Robert Deary, 1961. Actually, Brother Robert's happy. The last few years, he's been the oldest here, too. We got a few more older guys, too, brother. Well, actually, one more time. So, and the granddaddy of them all here, Mr. Tony Matar, 1950. So please, guys, give them a round of applause. Thank you for being here, gentlemen, and sharing this with us. Greg Esler and Dennis Cook, Vito Churko, myself, we were out in New York City this week, and we were meeting with alumni, talking about giving back, same type of thing, and and all the alumni I was speaking with, we had some great conversations about all the great things, all the great teachers they had at De La Salle, and all the great things that they experienced at De La Salle. Many of the things that you experienced today, or the last 4 years, and what an impact that this school has made on them, and a lot of them said, I'm where I'm at because of De La Salle and what De La Salle has done to me. Mr. Esler and I spoke about the needs of the school and how they can help financially and how they can give back and how to allow us to keep the mission alive. One of the guys came up to me and pulled me aside, and he asked me a question which was a unique question. And he said, Larry, how can I make a difference? What can I do to make a difference? I thought to myself, that we're always asking for help and what can we do, but that question really, really resonated with me. How can I make a difference? Wait, what does making a difference mean? To have an important effect on something. So that's really what we're here to talk about today, and I'm sure Jerry's going to talk about that too, and how so many people have made a difference here at this school. So many people before you, what you guys are experiencing, so many people that you've never met, that you don't even know and probably will never know, what they've done and what they've given back is all about what you guys have been experienced. Some of you with tuition assistance, but it may not even be tuition assistance. It could be the technology that we're using at the school, what we've done from building, buses, thank you, Mr. Rush, that have been bought, little things like that or big things like that that make a difference. So what I want you guys to do is, as you listen to Jerry today, and as you walk around or finish up your breakfast and walk around this great facility, that's really what we're here to talk about today. As you move forward, what you're going to do in your life, but not only how you can make a difference at our institution, which we hope that you do, by giving back maybe your time, treasure, talent, whatever it is, but how you can make a difference in life and how you can separate yourself. That's what we do as pilots. That's what we do, as LaSallians. So I want to thank everyone, the alumni, for being here today, for you guys for being here today. You guys actually, every day in my life, you make a difference in my life. I mean, that's one thing that you do. I can't wait to come to school. I can't wait to be with you guys on a daily basis. Some days more than others, but as in any job. So that's what I want you to think about as you hear now. I get to now introduce, or are you going to bring Mr. Koch is going to come up. So thank you guys, but Mr. Koch's going to come up and introduce Mr. Zaccardelli. So thanks, guys. Come on.
We also need to acknowledge Mr. Tony Catullo. Tony, are you here today? Tony's from the class of 1959. Thank you, sir, for attending today. Deathless loyalty, enthusiasm, conviction. Those words came from Fielding Yost. You may know the name Yost, as in Yost Ice Arena at the University of Michigan. Those words are part of the definition of what a Michigan man is. John Wangler said a Michigan man is someone who bleeds maize and blue. He is hardworking and successful, dedicated, a team guy, humble. Shane Morris, who many of the football players recently ran into last night, said this: Michigan has a storied tradition. A Michigan man carries on the tradition with him in everything that he does. You love Michigan, and you'll do anything for it. Most notably, Bo Schembechler instilled the comment, a Michigan man will coach Michigan. While Bo might have made that comment in reference to basketball coaching changed, the term Michigan man has developed into a bigger meaning. Schembechler added, it's about the devotion and pride that Michigan students and graduates have for their school. He said a Michigan man understands the Michigan tradition, the way things are supposed to be done, and loves being at Michigan. There are many words to describe a Michigan man, but I want to focus on a few specific words. I want to use the words deathless loyalty, enthusiasm, and conviction, the words first scribed by Yost, to describe our featured speaker, Mr. Jerry Zaccardelli. Mr. Zaccardelli, also known as Zach and Jay-Z, embodies these qualities: deathless loyalty, enthusiasm, conviction. In your program, you could read Mr. Zaccardelli's bio. It will show you his loyalty. It will discuss his love for his family, and it will discuss his tremendous career while only working at a few companies, again, proving his loyalty. What you can't read in the bio are two other things: enthusiasm and conviction. Jerry's enthusiasm can be felt in all the leadership positions he has held throughout the years. First developed at DLS as a captain up until the day he retired just recently from Brown & Brown. Jerry's enthusiasm made him a great captain and a great leader. But more importantly, his enthusiasm made everyone around him better. That's what leaders do. They make others better. Seniors, look around. Do Do you make others better? Jerry has also had great conviction. I want to talk about his conviction for De La Salle. He's had this conviction since the 70s, and he's probably has more conviction today. His conviction is what makes Jerry one of the greatest pilots in De La Salle history. Here's an example of his conviction. Jerry doesn't just help De La Salle. Jerry doesn't just give to De La Salle. Jerry doesn't just promote the greatness of De La Salle. Jerry's greatest strength, his conviction, is the fact that he advocates De La Salle everywhere he goes. Jerry brings others in, as evidence here today. Jerry gets others to help De La Salle. Jerry gets others to give to De La Salle. Jerry gets others to promote De La Salle. Why does he do it? One word: conviction. We know the term Michigan man. Yost used the words deathless loyalty, enthusiasm, and conviction as the first definition of a Michigan man. Well, Mr. Zaccardelli is a De La Salle man, because he was a De La Salle man first, but you could also say that Mr. Zaccardelli is a Michigan man. We can also call him a true pilot. We can call him a De La Salle man, whatever term you want to use. Better yet, we can call him one of the greatest pilots in the history of De La Salle. Deathless loyalty, enthusiasm, conviction. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Mr. Jerry Zaccardelli from the class of 1975.
Thanks, Dennis. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's had a good meal this morning. You all full? Good? Anyone want seconds? Thirds? Thank you. I want to thank my wife, Sue, and my mom, Ellen, and brother Robert, and some of my friends who've joined us here today. Mark Rush, Dan Lebb, Dr. John Moore, Dr. Fred Bartolome, Tom Ferentz, Joe Nagel, Tony Jaminska, and a very special guest of mine today, Tony Matar, class of 1950. Tony, you've been a real inspiration to me. Tony will tell you he's a self-proclaimed best class ever at De La Salle. And I will tell you, he might be just right about that. Tony has donated his time, his money, and he was also instrumental with raising more than $5 million gift from the late Bill Fox. I think this is a big thank you, Tony, for all the things you've done for us. These classmates have contributed of mine millions of dollars to help the current and future pilots. I think they deserve a round of applause. I would like to start by saying that I think the class of 2023 is most likely the best class I've seen in my 48 years after leaving the best class in 1975, of course. Your class has achieved many accomplishments on and off the field, and yet the best is still to come. I'm sure you've made a lot of lifelong friends and friendships, memories that will be the foundation of your success. And those memories will be building each year. Many of you may have not thought about it just 4 short years ago that you've accomplished as much as you have. But it's through your hard work, energy, effort that you've made this accomplishment. I'm sure it has not been easy at times, and when you entered some of those difficult times and had some real setbacks, those setbacks may have been difficult for you, but they actually made you more determined in the way you were to move forward and achieve your goals. Of course, this is a very valuable lesson in life. When you don't make those accomplishments, you double down, you get a little more determined in your efforts to go forward. And I'd like to say that is a character that will define you in your journey going forward. You might might not realize it, but you're part of a large community, over 1,000 educational centers in over 80 countries with over 1 million students being educated in the Lasallian tradition. This is a network of brotherhood that goes beyond just here locally in Michigan. So one of the things when you get out there in the world, I want you to make sure you network with people, because more than likely you're going to network with people who have similar values as you. And these people will help you actually move forward, make your way through life. In 2017, Sue and I had the opportunity, I invited myself to visit Brother Robert Deary on his teaching assignment in Jerusalem. We were given a tour of Jerusalem with a walk through the Way of the Cross by Brother Daoud. We didn't know it at the time, but Brother Daoud is a big deal. You would have thought the Pope was in town. We were walking through the Way of the Cross. Everybody knew Brother Daoud. He was greeted by Jewish people, Palestinians, Christians. He spoke 5 languages. I'll tell you, it was the safest place in the city being with Brother Daoud. In another event, we had missed our boat on the Sea of Galilee. And we were placed with another group of people in a boat from Singapore. Soon we found ourselves surrounded with the gospel in Chinese, and I was really surprised to find that in this group from Singapore, there were 3 members of the Lasallian school that we have in Singapore. Before we knew it, they were recruiting Brother Robert to come to Singapore with them to teach in Singapore. I wasn't sure I was happy to be about a Lasallian who I met, or kind of resentful for the fact they were going to steal Brother Robert from our community. But I will tell you that this experience was we're halfway around the world and we're meeting other Lasallians. So this is the thing that you should be aware of in your journey throughout life. Know one thing, you've been given a great opportunity in your life, a head start both academically, spiritually, and athletically. You've been prepared to meet these challenges over the next 5 years and through the rest of your life. But it's how you respond to those challenges will define you, and using the tools that you've had developed through your life, that you will conquer those challenges. Nobody goes through this process alone. You've been helped, encouraged by your teachers, your parents, your relatives, your friends, and yes, the DLSL alumni. And if you're ever out there, I had one of the DLSL alumni come up to me and say, I'd like to talk to you about your experience in insurance. Well, this is what we're here for. We're here to help you, not just here at DLSL, but as you graduate, as you get into your career, network with people. Show up at the Alumni Association. Come to the football. Come to get involved with the Christian Brothers Dinner. This will help you actually make the connections you need through the rest of your life. Each year, the DLSL community raises well over $2 million in order to make the tuition available for everybody. And St. John Baptist DLSL had a goal of providing gratuitous, that's free school education. We're still looking forward to that one day when we can provide a world-class high school experience at no tuition cost. However, that day has not yet come. The lottery, I didn't win that last week. So hopefully you can actually get involved and help this process go forward. We count on your future experience to help students like you pay it forward in the years to come. And while you may not have additional income in the next 5 or 10 years as you move forward in your life, you do have talent, you do have time, and you can give back to the school by getting involved in the school. Keep connected with your classmates, with the school, and you'll find that it'll be very valuable going forward in your life. Now, who needs $1,000? Everyone's hand's got to be going up. Other than the tables up here, any multimillionaires back there? Everybody's hand's going up. Who needs $1,000? There you go. Everyone needs $1,000. Good. Rich Belgenorth, a classmate of mine and track co-captain, passed away suddenly in 2007 at the age of 50. Rich was an outstanding friend of mine and a great human being. Rich was a sprinter. I was a long-distance runner. We met in the middle at the 440, or now it's called the 400-meter run. Rich never let me forget that when we set the DLSL school record in the mile relay at the state meet in East Lansing in 1979, that he handed the baton to me in first place, and I was promptly passed by 2 other runners, only catching one of them faster at the end of pass off to the anchor guy. Of course, I reminded him my split was about 0.3 of a second faster than his split. So I guess you could say we were very competitive going forward. And all of you should know Mrs. Kim Belgenorth, who's sitting up here in the counseling office. We offer the Richard A. Belgenorth Scholarship. This scholarship, this $1,000 scholarship, is awarded to any senior who writes an essay of at least 400 words or more, speaking about their experience at DLSL and how it's going to impact your future life. Last year's class, we only had about a half a dozen contributions to that, and I'd like to see a little bit more activity in the scholarship. So I'm going to add an extra $1,000 for the scholarship. Anybody need $2,000? Okay, there you are, $2,000 for my good friend Rich Belgenorth. And I hope to see at least 25 essays can put into the scholarship fund and for it to be awarded. So make sure you take a time to think about that going forward. In closing, I want to thank you for your past and soon more accomplishments that you have coming in this next year and your graduation. As a good friend of mine, Mark Rush, who's sitting up here, likes to say the only time success becomes before work is in the dictionary, right? And in fact, you can enjoy the ride through your senior year, but let's not forget to do the work. And remember, we all need to be supported. I'd like to close by a quote from a very important person in my life, my dad. He used to say, money's like manure. It's no good unless you spread it around. And I will tell you, the class of 75 knows how to spread out a lot of manure. And they've been very generous over the years. We hope and we challenge the class of 2023, the future best class that's going to be here in the coming years, to come forward and do the same thing. We count on your future support so we can continue to touch the hearts and future students that St. John Baptist DLSL started in 1680. St. John Baptist DLSL, with Jesus in our hearts. Thank you. I'll take a few questions if anyone wants to, or you can see me afterwards as well.
The 1926 Society was a great experience for me. Going into college next year, learned a lot of lessons that I can attain for a lifetime. Mr. Jerry Zaccardelli, he was a great speaker, gave a powerful talk, answered all our questions. Food was great. It was a great experience.
I like today. It's pretty good eats, pretty good talks. I really like the alumni coming to talk to us about their experiences, and I really like the food too.
I thought it was pretty nice. You know, they don't really have to do this stuff for us, but it's nice that they do. It brings everyone together as a whole. You know, if you look back there, it's kind of crazy. I think that's the only flaw so far. But overall, I liked all the alumni speeches. It's great to see people come back to the school. And I think that's a really important part of DLSL.
DLSL is really a big tradition. I knew it. I knew that we're a big tradition, but this kind of like just opened my eyes more how much our school is really traditional and stuff like that, and how our alumni like to come back and give back.
I thought it was a pretty cool day. Free food, pretty good. Good food, good speech, and I guess I felt it was pretty inspiring, the speeches, hearing them talk about like their lives and how like they went to DLSL and now they're doing all this great stuff.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Enjoyed every moment of it. It's great to see a senior class 2023, which I'm hoping is the best class there is coming out of DLSL. DLSL. It's been a great opportunity to speak with the young gentlemen, and I'm hoping in the future, all their success in the future going forward. So our class has been very active. Obviously, we've given millions of dollars to the school. It's been part of my life story, certainly starting at DLSL, and it's been a really foundation. It changed my life being here at DLSL, and my classmates have been part of that life for the whole year, and for the whole lifetime I've been here, and it's been instrumental even in my development throughout life. So I create the DLSL experience along with my classmates as being a foundation of my success.
Well, I want to start by first congratulating Jerry for a great job, not only today, but his career, his love of DLSL, and what it means to be a pilot. I think Jerry really does exemplify what it means to be a pilot. Now, there's no better example than Jerry Zaccardelli. So well done, Jerry, and congratulations.
This is one of the great invitations of my life, to be asked to come here today to honor my captain back in the track days. And I'll never forget, one of the great benefits of being a friend of Jerry was eating a couple of dozen homemade cookies that his mother made every time I went over there. And Jerry couldn't be a better guy. I can't do anything about the fact that he went to Michigan. Apparently he couldn't get into Notre Dame. So one of the
true story.
Well, yeah, one of the best people I know, and exemplifies everything about the collegiate.
It's been a great friend to everyone. Well done.